I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello
Karl
there.
Pilkington. Steve, you got any other toilet-related anecdotes?
Rick, my life is just full of toilet trauma.
Yeah.
And Carl, you may not realise this, but a while back I used to host, this is bizarre, I used to host a radio show on the BBC World Service, right? Now, if you want someone who's the voice of integrity, the voice of intelligence, the voice of a nation, you're going to come to me. That's obvious. And I was broadcasting to, now they've got listeners of something like 50, 60 million people around the world. It's mental, the listenership of the World Service. And I used to host this show with someone else.
It's a big place, Steve.
The World?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And anyway, so I had to be into Bush House, where they broadcast from, 10 o'clock every Friday morning, to broadcast around the world to 50 million people, right? And one week, I went to the toilet in my house, right? Everyone had left. I got there a bit late. I got up a bit late. Already against me. The clock was already against me. Had to be there at 10 o'clock, broadcast around the world. And we got 2 toilets in our house, downstairs one, right? And the door had already been a bit dodgy. It was one of those doors where you had to give it a bit of a kick as you went in. It was getting a bit tight. I don't know what the wood was expanding or something. You know, I'm in there. And same thing again happens. No toilet paper. I think, oh God, I'm going to have to somehow kind of make it up.
Why don't you check first?
I normally do, Rick. I normally do. It's just on certain occasions when I'm bleary-eyed or something, I forget, or occasionally I forget. Normally I do check.
Right.
And you've got to bear in mind that it's not like this is happening every week. This is over the course of many years that
Sure.
these incidents have accumulated. So
You've condensed them.
for the purposes of this anecdote.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes. And great. You're just brilliant to keeping the pace up of an anecdote there, Rick. You've just drawn in. I don't know where I am now. Anyway, I know where I am. I'm trapped in a toilet with no toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's where I am. And I'm thinking maybe I peel off some of the wallpaper, you know, things like that. But there's nothing I can do. I got to go upstairs. Well, exactly. But I have to go upstairs and find
Toilet paper? Was there any?
There wasn't.
There wasn't. Oh.
I'm gonna have to go upstairs and maybe find a notepad or something like that. And so I try the door. Right, the door's wedged. And I'm pulling on the door, and I can't get the door open. It's just like it won't come open, and it's already. And I knew it was going to come to this at some point. Like this is like the clock's ticking. I'm trying to pull the door open. Trousers around my ankles again, and I'm thinking, well, what I could do is I could open the window, I suppose, and like try and climb out, but not really because I got the trousers around the ankles. And that's
Or if it was raining, just stick your ass out. 2 birds with one stone.
Sadly, it was a beautiful day, Rick.
I call it the World Bee Day.
And so what I'm thinking is, well, I got my mobile phone in there, luckily, because it's in my pocket. I'm thinking, well, maybe I could phone. I was seriously thinking,
Kleenex.
maybe I'll phone the fire brigade.
By this point, I mean, it just dried.
No, it hadn't. It was.
Hold on. Was that little puppy not around? Because sometimes you can call that. It's got a little bit wrapped round it.
Listen.
Or
This is
just
a
use the
serious
puppy
issue.
itself.
There's 50 million people around the world going to need to hear my voice in like 30 minutes.
Exactly.
And-
Where's Steve? He's not locked in the toilet again, is he?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
So I'm thinking about phoning the fire brigade, and I'm thinking,
Sure.
like, if I do that, it's gonna be the first call that goes straight on the speakerphone.
Yeah.
For like the entire fire brigade service.
With
Everywhere.
a butch hero carrying you down over his shoulders with your trousers around your ankles. Can I
Exactly.
just not pull him up? No, you've got to be taught a lesson.
Yeah. But I imagine the idea of phoning up and going, hello there, I'm trapped in a room in my house. Oh yeah, which one is it? Oh, I
It's
don't
quite
need
small.
to know.
It's quite small. Is it?
Yeah. It's not the toilet, is it? Because we don't want to come and rescue someone who's trapped in the toilet.
Which
No.
service do you require? Paper?
So I think I can't find the fire brigade. The clock's ticking. So then I think one of my housemates is still in the house, but still asleep. So I phone the house number. Right, phone rings and rings and rings for ages, and eventually he answers the phone. Right, gets out of bed, answers the phone. Yeah, hi, it's Steve. All right, what's wrong? I'm
What are you doing?
downstairs.
What are you doing? All right, yeah. Oh, I didn't wait. I don't know. What are you doing? Oh, just in the
I'm just
toilet.
downstairs in the toilet.
Oh, yeah, what are you doing? Oh, well, I've finished what I'm... Have you got any toilet paper?
Any bog roll.
Yeah.
So he had to kind of scrape together a few bits of paper, you know, and sort of tinfoil or whatever he could find in the house.
A cactus.
Sometimes
Oh, no.
pass it underneath the door, right? And then I said, "Can you move away from the door because I don't want you to hear me as I'm, you know, wiping the." And so
You
he
didn't
did
say that?
Yeah, well, I didn't want him to, you know. That's
What, sorry, what...
That's embarrassing.
What were you wiping it with? Not tumbleweed. What do you mean? What
No, but
noise?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Right.
So then I say, right, can you smash?
Why was he hovering? Why didn't he want to walk away? Will you keep your... What was it? Outside with a glass to his ear?
Yeah. Thankfully, there was a window in the door, but it was frosted glass. You could just see my semi-naked body moving around, and so eventually I said to him, "Look, listen, I'm going to need you to sort of kick the door in." He said, "Well, I don't want to kick the door in because you're going to have to pay for it, aren't we?" I go, "Yeah, but I got to go to the World Service. Well, yeah." And he was a lovely man. He's the weakest man you've ever come across. It's like if there's one person you don't want to have to throw their body weight against the door, it was him. It's like he'll snap before the door will. So he's smashing against
This
the door.
sounds like a fetish to me, though. He went in there, and there you were naked with lots of toilet paper. And you go, oh, you've broken the door down, and here I am naked. Again.
Oh, you've rumbled me, Rick. I wish I'd not told that embarrassing story on the radio. Like it wasn't embarrassing enough, you've just got to make it slightly more seedy.
Oh, so did he get it
He
down?
did it, yeah, and I got to the World Service with like minutes to spare.
Oh,
And interestingly, I told that story to 50 million people around the
You're
world.
joking.
did they understand?
I think so.
What? I mean, is that a bit of a problem when you're on the World Service? Like, thinking of things that everyone can understand?
Yes.
Because you can't.
It's a bit
just
like
talk
when
about-
talking
Yeah,
to you, Karl.
yeah, exactly, Carl. I think you're on thin ice there, worrying about people understanding what you're saying.
No, but you can't talk about stuff that's on the telly and that, because some people say, well, we haven't even got a telly here.
Oh, yeah, you're listening to XFM 104.9. Play a record.